at the time of recording. Today is the day. The day of destiny, I suppose, for lack of a better term. If to be as pageant as possible. It is election day in New York City. Final pitches from all the candidates and whatnot. And Trump decided to endorse Cuomo. Trump says he'd vote for Cuomo. Oof. In a city that really does not like Andrew fucking not Andrew Cuomo, but Donald fucking Trump, you're getting the endorsement of basically fucking Voldemort. Yikes, Andrew. I wonder why. I don't know. A pedophile rapist is also I don't know, endorsing a fucking rapist. I couldn't possibly think of anything. Another blow to the Cuomo campaign. Ooh. Elon also endorsing Cuomo. I think he wrote a tweet saying like, if you live in New York and you want to keep your city, you should vote for not Zohran Mamdani, but Andrew Cuomo or some shit, like in whatever dumb fuck Elon voice or some shit. Meanwhile, our boy Zohran, he's been making quite the fucking media tour. He's been going around on all the fucking goddamn shows. What, Brian Tyler Cohen? He's been yucking it up with, I think, MSNBC and a bunch of other fucking interviews. He went to a bunch of nightclubs out late as well, at like 1 a.m., 2 p.m. He went to like a gay club as well, some kind of gay bar or something, receiving tons of fucking cheers, which I found really funny because all these motherfuckers love to say that Zohran Mamdani is a jihadist. Most jihadists tend to be right-wing extremists and extremely fucking homophobic, and now all these motherfucking like weirdo conservatives and Republicans like to pretend that they give much of a flying fuck at all about gay people all of a sudden. Well, that's a little fucking suspicious. That's a little weird. And he's been on what we already said, MSNBC. He got a call from Obama as well. So that's pretty cool. That's interesting. Zohran Mamdani on Obama call. Dems who helped Trump. I'm curious about this now. I'm curious mostly about the Obama call. I want to see what exactly is mentioned there.
Joining me now is Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic nominee running for mayor of New York City. Thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure to be on.
It's great to have you. You've campaigned on affordability for a long time. Let's take a look.
True.
When we all fight together on this issue of housing, we are in a fight for housing justice for every single New Yorker. From 2021 to 2022, the rents went up 34%. We're committed to freezing the...
Hold on. Oof. Okay. That's a rough mustache, I have to say.
We're committed to freezing the rent for the more than 2 million unstabilized tenants. It's the weight that is often costing so much to actually build the housing we need in the city.
Why has this always been a priority for you, and is it connecting?
You know, I think first I want to just apologize for the mustache that you showed in that hypercut. It's just a horrific decision that I made, and one that I'm not looking to. Housing continues to be the #1 cost that's pushing New Yorkers out of the city. I used to be a foreclosure prevention housing counselor. I'd work with homeowners struggling to stay in their homes, and I found that this wasn't just an issue for tenants. It was also for homeowners who were facing the possibility of delinquency on their mortgage because they were on the precipice of not being able to make ends meet. And that was the case when I was a counselor, the case when I was a Assembly member, it continues to be the case now that I'm running to be the mayor. And it's the #1 way that we can actually keep New Yorkers here.
By the way, the thing that he also started with was that housing video. A quick reminder on the Mike Gravel project as well on that YouTube channel. Good video here. He's talking about the history of affordable housing and everything. He's been very, very, very fucking consistent on this messaging about affordable fucking housing.
Ensuring that we bring down the cost of living specific to housing costs.
You talk about freezing rent. Is that something that you view as a bold new thing, or, as you've also mentioned, something that the mayor has the power to do the past administrations have done?
I think it's a mixture, and this clearly has precedent. We saw the previous administration did this 3 times, and we are living in a time of politics where politicians try to convince the public that there's nothing they can do. And so to even have the idea that we could actually help people, it's seen as a departure from what so many are being told in this moment. And freezing the rent, right, this is about 2.5 million New Yorkers in a city of 8.5 million. The mayor has the power to freeze their rent. I'm saying I'm going to do that for 4 years, and that's in stark contrast to the current mayor, Eric Adams, who's raised the rent by more than 12%, and who decided that the person who saw his record most in anyone running for mayor was Andrew Cuomo.
Your campaign's making news with President Obama calling you. He says you're impressive to watch.
There we go.
Can you tell us what you talked about, and do you want his endorsement?
You know, I appreciated that conversation with the president. I appreciated his...
So as far as I can tell, I believe that Obama did not give his fucking endorsement. He said he wants to be like, I don't know, a fucking sounding board or some shit for Zohran Mamdani. I don't know why the fuck he's saying that. Like, is he trying to, like, I don't know, crimp sort of Zohran Mamdani style or some shit? The main differences between people like Zohran Mamdani and Barack Obama is that Zohran Mamdani actually believes in things, and Barack Obama is a charlatan. He is a liar who just maxed out his stats and fucking charisma. He had the fucking riz, And that's pretty much all he really had going for him, because in terms of like policy, nah, basically fucking nothing.
His thoughts that he shared about our campaign, and I also shared with him that when I was facing the bigoted and racist attacks, especially that have amplified over the last few weeks, that I looked to his State of the Union, State of a More Perfect Union address as an inspiration for how to rise above the 24-hour news cycle of an electoral campaign and speak to the soul of the politics in our city and our country. And I really appreciated the model that he presented.
Did you tell him as a nominee you would like his endorsement?
Yeah, because here's the thing, like, you know, so much for, I don't know, Zohran Mamdani telling off Obama consistently or some shit, because that's like an argument that Andrew Cuomo fucking made for some reason, and it's just like, dog, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he's not like actively going to try to court Obama or anything. If Obama decides to throw his weight behind Zohran, he never will. He'll like talk positively about him, but that's really about it, because he is a Democrat. I mean, honestly, it's better than fucking Hakeem Jeffries. Didn't Hakeem Jeffries just say that Zohran Mamdani is not the fucking future of the Democratic Party? Let me fucking grab that real quick. Yeah, you know, we got our boy, our favorite little deer-faced man over here in the headlights, talking about Zohran Mamdani. So, he had his like really tepid non-endorse, like, I'm not counting that as a fucking endorsement, from Hakeem Jeffries, because he and Chuck Schumer, since they are dinosaurs who just want to get more fucking APAC money, they just are willing to do basically everything possible in order to push for positions, well, maybe not positions, but for basically, they just want to do literally anything possible, and I mean anything possible, to keep getting that fucking corporate cash and to keep the left pro-Israeli, in the words of fucking Chuck Schumer. And well, unfortunately, the voters are actively rejecting that stuff, and more and more people are starting to refuse taking fucking APAC money. So much for that attempt there, Chucky boy.
Donnie is the future of the Democratic Party?
No, I think the future of the Democratic Party is going to fall, as far as we're concerned, relative to the House Democratic Caucus and members who are doing a great work all across the country as it relates to our need to both take back control.
I don't think there's anything, because he's just gonna fucking waffle. It doesn't matter what he says. Like, he's completely out of touch. Like, he knows in the back of his mind that his time is cooked. He's cooked. Wallahi, he is fucking cooked.
Bring up endorsements because, frankly, in these final days, the only endorsement I'm looking for is from that of the people who call the city home.
Let's talk a little more policy, because budget's a big deal.
Pretty good.
Your platform says you'll raise the corporate tax rate to 11.5%, and you point out, just like neighboring New Jersey, that's 5B, and then tax the wealthiest 1% above basically people who are millionaires, the flat 2% tax.
What's 4B?
Go ahead, 4B. Okay. and so what does that get you, and what do you say to people who are concerned that New York is already taxed enough?
So that would get you $9 billion, and then we also said that we would save.
Okay, I already hate that fucking framing, that New Yorkers are taxed enough. You literally just said yourself that it's going to be the fucking millionaires and the wealthy who are getting a flat 2% fucking tax. And oh no, a flat 2% tax on the fucking richest, most wealthiest fucking New Yorkers. It's gonna be the end of the world. Like, unironically, and this is the exact same fucking shit that fucking Zohran Mamdani himself said. It's like, yeah, this dumbass Bill Ackman, for example, that miserable little fucking wretch. Who, good if he leaves. Same with Andrew Cuomo. Good, yeah, go to Florida, you two stupid dumbass bitches. You dumbasses are still gonna have all of your businesses in fucking Florida. Good luck running a fucking hedge fund out of fucking Florida, Bill Ackman. What assets are you gonna take from fucking Florida in that decrepit fucking shithole of a state? Nice fucking meme. You do that, buddy. I digress. The thing with these motherfuckers is, like, they're gonna complain, bitch, moan, and complain about a fucking 2% tax, which is, like, nothing. Like, and this is what Zohran Mamdani himself said. He literally said that, yeah, Bill Ackman has been throwing more money, trying to run, like, negative ads and give more and more money to fucking Andrew Cuomo than I would be fucking taxing him. So it's just like, okay, whatever, bro. Very, very cool. Yeah, no one ever talks about the plight of the billionaire. Yeah, exactly.
$1 billion through procurement reform, through the following of the independent budget office's analysis of hiring more fiscal auditors, and also by finally starting to collect on the fines and fees from landlords that owe the city currently about $800 million over a period of overall fines and fees of about $2.5 billion. So this is our revenue plan. This would more than pay for our economic agenda. It would actually allow us to start Trump-proofing our city. And what I mean by that is we're seeing right now what the Trump agenda portends for New Yorkers. This is a man who ran a presidential campaign on the benefits of cheaper groceries that is now trying to cut SNAP benefits to make it even harder to afford those same groceries. And we have to protect New Yorkers with the least from the attacks from the man with the most power in this country. And that's also what I see as a response.
Yeah, quick reminder, literally Trump had a fucking Great Gatsby themed fucking party at Mar-a-Lago of all cases. Like, unironically, it's so fucking on the nose, just the utter contempt that the Republicans have always had, and establishment fucking Democrats have always had for the poor.
To be the next mayor of the city.
So let's get into this. Some people say, oh, that's a bad idea. They don't want the government that involved. Okay, but then they're probably not New York Democrats, to be honest. Other people say, sounds like a good idea, but you can't afford it. And so I'm going to read in detail from Free Market Manhattan Institute. You're familiar with these critiques. They say Mamdani believes tax hikes will make him able to fund new initiatives. But the current city council budget actually gives you a choice. Quote, budget cuts with tax increases or greater cuts without them. The new $116 billion budget projects large gaps for $5 to $6 billion 2027 to 2029. So translation, they're saying, oh, you want to get new money, but that money's already spoken for because you're going to be in the red. Your response?
Well, they're talking about $5 to $6 billion. The proposal I put forward is about $10 billion. And I think that there's an amount of that money that's needed to fight back against these kinds of cuts. And then there's an amount of it that needs to actually fund an affirmative economic agenda. And what I mean by that is for too long as Democrats, we've thought that simply fighting back against Donald Trump is a sufficient political message. We also have to fight for something. And so at the heart of my campaign is a commitment to make buses fast and free. That would cost around $700 million.
I love the fact that he's fucking saying that, dude, because now this is like the current political environment that we find ourselves in right now. Like, you have to be for something, not fucking against something. Like, be for things, not against things. Like, don't fucking do any of that bullshit.
That fits firmly within the question of political reality. It's just, do we have the political will to deliver it? The other commitment is about universal child care. This is something that would cost around $6 billion, something the governor is very much interested in and has been fighting for quite some time. And I appreciate not only her endorsement, but also the shared commitment on this question of affordability.
She hasn't endorsed all your funding plans yet.
No, but she has said that this is of immense importance to her. And what I've said time and again is the funding plans I put forward are the ones I think are most straightforward and direct. And also, if there's another means by which to raise the funding, the most important thing is that we actually fund this thing. The last thing I'll say is, oftentimes we talk about these initiatives only through the frame of cost, as opposed to what they generate. These initiatives also generate significant economic benefit. $700 million is the cost of free buses. The assessment from experts is that would generate $1.5 billion in economic benefit. $5-6 billion is the cost of universal child care. When they implemented it in Quebec, it had a 10-to-1 return because there were so many more single mothers and mothers of young children who are now entering into the workforce. My point is that we have to also understand that we can only benefit in the city when we are willing to invest in the city. These are some forms of investment.
Let's talk about Andrew Cuomo. One of the reasons you became something of an overnight political star is not just that you won a primary, but you beat Andrew Cuomo, who, frankly, a lot of Democrats around the country know more than you. And I think a year ago that was true in New York.
Yes.
Right? You beat him once. We'll see what happens Tuesday. He was just doing a new interview this weekend, and he made some remarks about diversity. I wanted to give you a chance to respond. I'll just play them in full. This was on MSNBC's Weekend.
Diversity can be a weakness.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get to this full fucking interview that Andrew Cuomo had. But he was basically doing the exact same sort of talking point I think JD Vance did on like a fucking podcast where he was talking about like, oh, you know, diversity is our strength, but it can also be a fucking weakness. Trying to do like the sort of like same shit that neo-Nazis and white nationalists do, saying that people like to live in like segregated fucking enclaves amongst their own fucking community, when every fucking indication in terms of economic data and the sort of like cultural sort of like prowess is just no, that's not even the fucking case. New York is one of the most diverse cities on the fucking planet. Behind us, Toronto. Get fucked, New York. Is an incredibly fucking diverse city. And every walk of life lives in fucking New York. So it's just like a nice meme, dude? Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, New York is the city of cities. It is one of the richest, most culturally prominent cities on the planet. And what led it to that position? Oh, the fact that it's an incredibly diverse city for literally everyone. I love how this guy in the bottom left is just like, what the fuck? What are you waffling on about, bro? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, what is wrong with you, little man? Like, because again, it's just, he's repeating the exact same fucking talking point that fucking JD Vance also said. It's just like, why the fuck are you saying that, bro? Okay, imagine getting inspired by pudgy doughboy JD Vance. Jesus Christ, Andrew.
If you have antipathy among groups, Jonathan, if you have racism or anti-Semitism, etc.
Yeah, antipathy among groups, by the way. That literally, that is the exact same thing that white nationalists on Twitter say. Insane, bro.
Then you have friction. And so you have to work very hard to keep it as a positive and to make sure that it's not a negative and you have zero tolerance for any racism, any anti-Semitism, etc.
Your response.
This is the former governor, a Democrat ostensibly, of the state, who was saying that diversity can be a weakness and then proceeded to confuse the two black hosts with each other. more and more what we're seeing is that Andrew Cuomo, who ran an entire primary campaign on the premise that he was best suited to beat Donald Trump, as soon as we defeated him by 13 points, he proceeded almost immediately to get on his hands and knees to beg that same president for his help and the donors of that same president for their help. And now his closing message is to sound even more like the president than anyone else.
Are you saying a vote for Cuomo is like a vote for...
God, he's so good. Yes, it's so good. Yeah, his Italian racism is fucking showing. Yeah, he's being a little fucking, I don't know, what's the fucking... Yeah, he's being racist. Listen, we have to be more Fredo-phobic. There we go. Yeah, he's being a little bit of a fucking Fredo. Yeah, honestly, Zohran needs to be more Italophobic, okay? But not to Curtis Sliwa, okay? Curtis Sliwa, he's the only good New York Italian, okay? Because at least he's like an actual person, all right? Unlike Andrew Cuomo, who's like a robot, like an amalgamation of flesh, like a void. I don't know. Like, Andrew Cuomo is just a fucking ostensible little fucking weirdo, and it's just like, why would you say this, dude? In one of the most diverse cities on the fucking planet, you're talking about how that there's a lot of ethnic tensions between people that were stoked by mostly people like him and also people like white nationalists, talking about how people gathered in all one location is automatically always going to cause ethnic tensions, when every economic indicator and cultural indicator has said that the thing that makes cities great and as powerful and as strong as they are is how diverse that they are, generally speaking, how many people tend to fucking live in them. Trust me, you look at all the backwater, decrepit, homogenous shitholes, they tend to lag backwards in terms of economic fucking productivity. Like, Japan, looking at you, buddy. There's a reason why your economy's in the complete fucking shitter, because you're not accepting in any immigration. Like, there's a big reason, dude.
For Trump at this point?
Yes, I am saying that. And I'm saying that because Donald Trump has handpicked his candidate. That candidate's name is Andrew Cuomo, and New Yorkers have a chance to handpick their fighter, and I believe that candidate should be me.
I want to cover a bunch of ground with you. This is diving into New York ballot measures. Might be a little easy, but then I heard you like that kind of stuff. Proposition 2 says basically fast track affordable housing. You said you're the affordable housing guy. You probably know where this is going, right?
I can see where this is going.
And you're...
But I'm enjoying the ride.
Okay, good. Your progressive teammate, if you will, Lander, backs this. Cuomo happens to back it. Take that for what you will. And the New York Times reports their words, quote, Mamdani is conspicuously not taking a position on the measure. We're getting close to Tuesday. Why not tell the voters where you stand?
So I take this decision very seriously. It's one that I haven't yet made on where I stand on these ballot measures. It's one I'm going to share when I go out and vote on election day. And it's because I'm both incredibly excited at the prospect of building more affordable housing across the city, and I also take very seriously the concerns that have been raised, especially by labor unions, on the question of generating good jobs over the course of the same process.
So let me jump in. So it sounds like a mixed bag thing. And you're the anti-politician, and you've done pretty well on that. Why is it now, as you're on the precipice, that you wouldn't want to lead your coalition with a solution, with a plan? I mean, it almost sounds like, for whatever reason, on this housing issue,
mixed
you're
bag.
sounding like some of those older politicians.
How could you? How could you?
Well, look, it's Tuesday. You probably know where you stand.
It is Tuesday, and the thing that I think is most important is to be honest with New Yorkers, to make promises that I can keep. And I want to be very, very intentional about what I share with New Yorkers and where I stand. That's why I'm taking the time that I am. As soon as I get the decision, I've now promised probably 4 reporters, but now I'll stick to the 5th.
Okay.
I'll also be sharing with you, my friend.
All right, great. An issue that's not necessarily the most important for New York City politics, but that's come up a bunch, is sort of where you stand on some of these issues that relate.
I don't know. Like, I also know that a bunch of dumbasses on Twitter. But yeah, it's very fucking stupid. Like, you've been like kind of whiff-waffling on these ballot measures. Why are you so whiff-waffling on this? And like all these like dishonest dipshits are saying like, oh, this is how you can tell that he is a terrible, terrible fucking politician or some shit. And it's just like, okay, bro, like, why the fuck does it matter, dude? Like, why? Like, let's be honest here. Why would you fucking say that? Like, this is very, very stupid. Who cares about, like, random fucking ballot propositions? Like, where he stands on them. Like, it doesn't ultimately fucking matter. It's just, like, because I'm going to assume and guess that it's, like, some random fucking Abunda bullshit. Who wants to assume that it's some random fucking Abunda bullshit? And it's just, like, you know... blah, blah, blah. You need to tell us where you stand on a particular ballot issue because, you know, it's very, very important that the politician in power has to stand with this, like, ballot measure. And it's just like you said, Boy Meets Minnie. Yeah, like, unironically, like, ballot measures are decisions for the fucking people. Why does it matter what the politician fucking thinks about them? It's about what the people fucking think about them. It's one of those things where it's just like, who the fuck cares?
The Jewish community in Israel. What do you say to Jewish New Yorkers, and it's the largest Jewish population outside of Israel, as you know, who are concerned that maybe there's a double standard here?
Oh, by the way, yeah, it's time for consistent talks from the media about, like, Jews. What did the Jews think about this? Why, like, all the Jewish people have to fucking think about you consistently, Zohran Mamdani, because you said Intifada. And it's just like, dog? No, he fucking didn't. He literally mentioned that in the Bulwark fucking podcast, talking about how he would not use that fucking goddamn language. And that he was talking about specifically the use of the term Intifada to describe the Polish ghetto fucking uprising that fucking happened. That's what he was talking about specifically. It's incredibly fucking stupid that these motherfuckers are just dishonestly taking this, and they're just like having a schizophrenic conniption about that. And it's just out of context fucking bullshit. He was talking about how he would not use the term globalize the Intifada. He doesn't agree with it, and that in reality, people will dishonestly use the term Intifada when he was talking about the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, which was an Intifada, because that's what the term in Arabic for uprising means. It's Intifada. It's very, very fucking stupid.
Criticizing governments is legitimate. But is there a double standard or an extra attention on that country, which is the only Jewish state? What do you say to that?
What I say is that my politics are universal. And just today I was asked, you refuse to recognize Israel's right to exist as a Jewish state, but you only recognize its right to exist. Would you apply that elsewhere? Would you apply that to Saudi Arabia, to Pakistan? And I say absolutely. Because the worth of any position is that you universally apply it across the world.
Well, that's specifically you're saying you're against sort of theocratic religious states.
Yes, and my point here is that I've heard from Jewish New Yorkers that, I disagree with you, but I'd be more comfortable if I knew that you held the standard for everyone. And my point is that, yes, it has to be a standard you hold for all. The other week I was on the M57, which is, by the way, the slowest bus in New York City, 4.9 miles an hour. And I was sitting there, and a woman to my right introduced herself. She was a speech therapist, and she told me that she was Jewish. She said that her daughter is a huge fan of the campaign phone banks, and she said, I'm not so sure. She was like, I just don't know where I stand on some of the questions about you and how you feel about the city. And I made very clear to her in the conversation that we had that I'm looking to lead the city. I'm looking to every single person that calls the city home.
Oh, by the way, this is another great thing about Zohran Mamdani. He'll actually just like talk with people. He'll just talk with people, which is not a thing that most of these fucking politicians say all the fucking goddamn time. They will never just talk with their constituents. Like, I think like literally on the day of, he was like, yeah, he was like talking with a bunch of like cab drivers within New York. The cultural icon, fucking cab drivers, the yellow cabs of New York. And he was just, because he'll just like talk with people at any point in time. This is probably one of the reasons why he's gonna win. He just talks with people. He'll talk with average people. Like, quick reminder, the videos that started getting him on the map to begin with was the halalflation video, but also more specifically him just talking with a bunch of random people within New York, talking about why they voted for for Donald Trump in the 2024 election. Because in his mind, he feels like, well, you shouldn't just like shun people. You need to meet them where they're at and ask them, be like, well, why did you vote for Donald Trump? Like, I'm just a little curious. I want to learn and just see and understand, like, why you decided to go with these decisions to vote for who you fucking voted. And it's just like, no politician fucking does that. Like, none of them fucking do that. Except this guy. He'll just talk with, like, literally anybody. Which is exactly what you should be doing if you want to be a fucking representative of the people. You talk with people. But most average politicians don't do that.
Not just those that agree with me or vote for me. And I know that there are many New Yorkers who have a wide variety of views on Israel and Palestine. I'm one of them. And my job will be to lead all of them.
And let me just ask you this way very directly. We've spoken before, but not on air. For a Jewish New Yorker...
Like, again, like, New York City mayor, we still have to talk about Israel fucking Palestine. It's so stupid.
Thinks, well, wait a minute, I'm asking this without a premise about the answer. Does he have a double standard about this country versus what's going on in China or Russia or Syria? Does that relate to Judaism in some way? What do you say to that person?
I think that if you can point me to a human rights violation or a war crime, I will condemn it no matter who it is that has done it. The concern that I have so often is also driven by a question of the unique complicity we have as Americans in what we are funding, what we are actually complicit in by virtue of our tax dollars being spent on it. And that's something that I think motivates many to ensure that those tax dollars are a reflection of our morals.
All right. You have spoken about these financial plans you have, and you made a point on New York radio, which a lot of people listen to address 50 Cent. And you know he's a critic. He's a critic. Go ahead, and then we'll play. Go ahead.
I didn't even know what my salary would be until I opened up Instagram and I saw this thing, which was like 50 Cent offers Mamdani X amount of money.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a very specific amount of money. I was like, oh my God, that's...
So now we'll do this in reverse order.
Sorry.
He said, I'll give you $258,000 in a first class one-way ticket out of New York. That's what you're referencing. So, here's what you did say. That was a serious kind of policy radio, and let's take a look.
Okay.
I know 50 Cent is listening. He's not going to be happy about this. He tends to not like this tax policy, but I want to be very clear. This is about $20,000 a year. It's a rounding error. And all of these things together, they make every New Yorker's life better, including those who are actually getting taxed.
What do you say to him now, where, by the way, he has moved out of the city, but he's a classic New Yorker. I'm sure you like some of his songs.
Oh, man. It's actually tough for me in that way.
Yeah, so where does this debate go?
Incredible songs.
Because his argument, and it's fun, but it's also what we hear from certain people. His argument is, there are a lot of people in New York who make a lot of money because they contribute a lot, and you're going after them. What do you say to him tonight?
What I would say to you, 50, if you are indeed watching, or anyone else who's watching this show, is I continue to think that having the top 1% of New York City, who are making more than $1 million a year, having them pay 2% more for an economic agenda that would transform every New Yorker's life, including their own, is something that's worthwhile. And the reason I say including their own is when you see a city like ours that is underfunding its city agencies, that is pulling back on the most basic things like library services and trash cans, everybody feels the knock-on effects of that. And my job as someone who believes deeply in the public sector is to ensure that we're delivering public excellence. And that means every dollar that we raise, I want
Sorry, Zohran Mamdani, we live in a balkanized environment, and every fucking stupid millionaire and billionaire has to be a greedy little asshole or some shit. And so it's like, that's cool. That's great. I love my heckin' bourgeoisie who doesn't want to pay their fucking taxes ever. Very, very cool.
be able to prove to you that it's every dollar that's being well spent. That's the relationship there. And I do have to say, even though we have a disagreement on tax policy, every time I get a death threat, I still listen to many men.
It's true. You take many men for motivation. I was going to say your answer sounds a little bit like clickety clank, the money goes into my piggy bank.
Wow.
And if we had more time, we'd do more 50. Can we do some fun stuff before I let you get back on the campaign trail? I've never asked any candidate this, but James Carville was here.
Okay.
And he's been a little bit more, I think he would call himself a centrist.
boy,
He said Zohran
Carville.
Mamdani is more on message than any candidate he's ever worked with. And he said, hands down, that's a positive trait.
kind of him.
So here's the test.
Oh, God.
How quickly can you go from this topic back to affordability?
Okay.
Halloween.
Here's the thing. You're seeing candy prices shoot up across New York City. It's part of the fact that we're the most expensive city in the United States of America. You gotta take a look at that.
The movie Godfather.
That's really instantaneously the movie got. I'm curious about this one. Yeah, that's an easy clap. Okay, easy clap. Godfather. I'm interested in this one.
You know, there are too many people who think that the only way they can afford to live in New York City is if their father already lived here. And the fact of the matter is, you should be able to afford your own apartment and not have to pray to God to get there.
Incredible.
Right?
You got there.
Nice work.
Lightning round is
pretty good.
in a word or a sentence. But it's your mic. If you go longer, you go longer.
Okay,
In a word or a sentence, I am a democratic socialist because
I believe in the dignity of all people.
I'm the Democratic nominee for New York because
I beat Andrew Cuomo by 13 points.
a reason conservatives are welcome in your Democratic Party is
They also have to pay rent.
Democrats are right about.
That we have to take on authoritarian administration in Washington, D.C.
Something Democrats have gotten wrong.
We need to bring back working people as the focus of our party.
All right, New York, it's going to be hard for you. My bodega order is
Very
Cheese on a roll with jalapenos.
bagels or bialys.
Bagels.
Sure.
Come on, how'd you get that? Okay, good.
My favorite subway line is
For nostalgia, the 9 train.
Okay. I don't know. Fun shit aside. Okay, who care? I don't care about this anymore. Very good. We love Zohran Mamdani. Well, why don't we start shitting on Andrew Cuomo and see what he's up to? He went on a fucking podcast here. I don't know what the name of this podcast is. Is this Midas Touch podcast or something? I don't know. Whatever. Midas Touch fucking podcast. Let's operate under that assumption. So we have these podcasters calling out Andrew Cuomo, talking about how he's supported by Trump. I mean, quite unironically, he is not actually endorsed by Trump, pseudo-endorsed by Trump, saying that he would vote for Andrew Cuomo. Pretty fucking clear, I would rather say. And also talking about him just immediately fucking hanging up on that. Well, that's a little fucking interesting. What do we have here?
Your boy was just on 60 Minutes, Cuomo, saying that you're his guy.
I have no idea how these guys got fucking Andrew Cuomo on the line, by the way. Respect to them. Immediately fucking calling him out for this shit. That's genuinely fucking hilarious.
No. First of
Trump said you're his candidate.
Wait. Hold on.
no. First of
Trump said
He hung up and he said no, cut himself off in the middle of a sentence and hung up. That should pretty much tell you everything you need to know. He just wants to be mayor of New York because he's Andrew fucking Cuomo, and he doesn't want to have any fucking accountability for any of his actions. Complete utter fucking charlatan behavior from Andrew fucking Cuomo. Oh my god, that's incredible, dude.
said you're his candidate. If he had to pick a bad Democrat or what did he say? Or a
communist.
Or a communist, he's picking you.
Do they know that he's gone? Oh my god.
Hello?
I think that they cut him off. I think he had to. That he had to rap.
He's just, oh.
Dude, this is a fucking terrible look for fucking Andrew Cuomo. Oh my god. Like, because he constantly tries to deflect from the fact that he gets support from fucking Donald Trump. He gets asked about it straight to his fucking face, saying, your boy was just on... We'll get to fucking Trump on 60 Minutes because, oh boy. That was a fucking real doozy. And that he's saying that he or his guy, and he's just like, no, and then hangs up immediately. Bro, why would you do that? That makes you look so fucking bad, dude. Oh my lord.
I really wanted to hear that answer.
I
That's
bet.
what I was going to ask you.
Ebro just got spicy.
Oh.
I heard a click before the boop.
Oh, he hung up.
Wow.
He said no and hung up. He rage quit.
Okay.
He rage quit. He actually just rage quit. That's incredible, dude. Well, you know, when his ass probably gets fucking beat. Listen, I know that like every like schizophrenic weirdo and freak and like bot farm account has been constantly pushing like one particular outlier poll talking about how actually Andrew Cuomo is going to win, although their final poll also said that Zohran Mamdani was also going to win, which is genuinely fucking hilarious. I really do think that Andrew Cuomo is going to get blown the fuck out, considering all of the stupid fucking bullshit that Andrew Cuomo was pulling with the Islamophobia, with the now parroting fucking white nationalist fucking talking points, talking about diversity can be a weakness because of all of the fighting that was incentivized by the fucking by like a bunch of like people of different races intermingling with one another. This is an explicitly fucking white nationalist fucking talking point, and you want to be like the mayor of one of the most fucking progressive, diverse fucking cities on the planet? Dog, why would you fucking say that? Are you insane? That's a rhetorical question. Yeah, you are fucking insane. So, I'm very, very curious to see. And he fucking rage quits. And has been doing, like, super racist, like, dog shit, like, AI ads as well. He's not ingratiating himself with people whatsoever. And he, like, tries to walk back from all this stuff. I think he tries to walk back from those in this interview himself, saying like, well, I have no part in that. It's just like, dog, you paid for those AI fucking companies to make those AI ads for you. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You paid for that shit. So yeah, you probably did know. Like, cope and seethe about it. But what do we have here?
Election day is just 3 days away, and one of the most closely watched contests is the New York City mayoral race between New York State Assembly member and Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani and former Governor Andrew Cuomo running as an independent, and Republican Guardian Angels founder Curtis Sliwa. Recent polling shows the race tightening slightly, but Mamdani still leads Cuomo and Sliwa by double digits. Joining us now is former New York Governor and New York City mayoral candidate Andrew Cuomo. Governor, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I want to start right there. We're 3 days out from folks finishing voting here in your city, and I'm curious what you and your campaign are going to do at this point to convince people to change their minds. We're looking at all of these different polls.
He's gonna go to Florida. He's gonna leave because his ass is gonna get beat.
Including a poll that your team sent that still has you 6 points behind. So what are you going to do at this point to change folks' minds?
Yeah, thank you for having me. First of all, 6 points is nothing, especially in these polls. And the polls in this race have been wrong from day one, but 6 points is nothing. It's almost.
Oh, you want to know how you talk? Like how you know this guy's incredibly fucking Trumpian now? When he's talking about not him being a dog shit fucking candidate that nobody fucking likes or wants, but just blaming the fucking polls. This is the exact like. Him and Trump are like two peas in a fucking pod. Very, very fucking similar. There's a reason why he desperately went to Trump to try to get fucking help in his pathetic little bid.
Margin of error. And what we're seeing is an unprecedented. Yes, I said it's almost the margin of error. What we're seeing is an unprecedented turnout of voters. That's why I would take all these polls with a grain of salt. I think you're going to have an historic turnout of New Yorkers, which is good. More voter participation, the better. But it's also simple.
Yeah, but it's not good for you, buddy, because I'm going to tell you right now, the people that are being driven out to vote are by the army of fucking volunteers. I think that Zohran Mamdani has. I think his volunteer corps, was last time he said, in some separate interview, about 100,000 fucking volunteers. 100,000 volunteers is insane. That's so many fucking volunteers. And he said he wanted to like knock on 200,000 doors in about 24 hours. That's so easy with 100,000 fucking people. Easy fucking clap. Each person just has to do 2 fucking doors. Done. That's 200K. It is incredible, dude. Like, genuinely.
Of how concerned New Yorkers are about this election and the city and the state of the nation, frankly. So I've been obviously going all across the city. They are concerned about public safety. They want more police on the streets, affordability, more affordable housing. The only way to do that is to get government to actually build more affordable housing and stabilize the economy. Corporations have been leaving New York. People have been leaving New York, and they want to know that New York has a future.
Yeah, because everyone definitely wants the corporations to return in order to just, I don't know, get more fucking tax cuts that they have to fucking pay for. Very, very cool, Andrew.
And that we're getting those companies and those people back.
Governor Cuomo, I'm glad you mentioned public safety, affordable housing. These are things that, as mayor, you're going to have to work with.
By the way, it's all-time crime low within fucking New York. There's like no fucking crime wave that's happening right now. In fact, the only people that are bringing in a fucking crime wave tends to be a lot of fucking white-collar crime from fucking Eric Adams specifically when he let in Trump's ICE Gestapo fucking freaks into the fucking goddamn city. Disregarding the sanctuary city laws, and it's just like, go fuck yourselves. We're just going to start arresting a bunch of people because the president promised me a pardon from my corruption case. So, well, time for ICE to go around and start rounding up people.
the governor of the state in order to get a lot of the things that you want done, not to mention, getting things from the state in terms of the budget. You and Governor Hochul used to be your lieutenant governor. She is now the governor, and she has endorsed your opponent. Do you think you will have a good working relationship with the governor to bring home the bacon to the Big Apple for the people of New York City if you become the governor? I'm sorry, if you become the mayor.
Yeah, I don't know. It's confusing, Jonathan. I'm with you. The first short answer is yes, as you said. Kathy Hochul, I selected as my lieutenant governor. I served with her. We have a nice personal relationship, a good professional relationship. Public safety really is in the purview of the mayor. How many police officers you hire? I want to hire 5,000 more police officers. Mayor Adams says we need 5,000 more police officers. Commissioner Tisch, New York City Police Commissioner, says we need 5,000 police officers. So that's within the mayor's purview, and that we can do. Affordable housing, yes, you have state funding. You also have federal funding, by the way, which is the mainstay on housing. But it's up to the city to actually get the housing built and sited and financed, et cetera. But on the bringing home the bacon, that is always the $64,000 question. And it's between the state and every city, right? As governor for 11 years, I got the budget balanced on time every year. Hasn't been done since. I had to make a budget deal with Buffalo and Rochester and Syracuse and New York City. My advantage is I know what the state can do. So I'll know the budget from both sides of the table, if you will. We want our fair share from New York State. New York City is the economic engine for New York State. The state needs the city to do well. But I also
except when when Bill de Blasio asked for the funding necessary to freeze the rent in a bunch of fucking rent-stabilized apartments during COVID. Yeah, you decided to make a rather big fucking stink about that for no reason, while New Yorkers were barely able to fucking afford their rent during fucking COVID, Andrew Cuomo. That's a little interesting, and made as much of a fucking stink as possible when Bill de Blasio tried to do fucking universal pre-K within New York as well. So it's just like, again, it's one of those situations where it's just the only reason why Andrew Cuomo wants to be mayor of fucking New York is to not improve the material conditions on the fucking ground. In fact, he just wants to make everything fucking worse. Like, that's all that he's there for. Because, again, quick reminder, when he was governor, he had something called the Independent Democratic Commission, or IDC, or whatever. It was basically, I think it was about like 8 or 9 or 10 Democrats that he would always have vote with the fucking Republican Party. And why would he do that specifically? And the reasoning for that is because of the fact that he decided to be like, oh, okay, I just basically do not want to pass any progressive legislation within the state legislature of New York. And if it means that I don't have to do any work and not pass anything, because it's a Democratic supermajority state, New York. If the Democrats want to pass something, they'll pass something. They don't give a shit, right? Like, they can pass anything. So Andrew Cuomo, since he is not a progressive, he's a fucking conservative, he will literally do anything possible in order to not pass any fucking progressive legislation, because he hates people. I'm gonna be honest, he just fucking hates people. It's incredible, dude.
The state can do relative to the overall context. So I think that gives me the advantage.
Governor, I want to ask you about a moment you just had that reminded me another moment in 2008 when Senator John McCain was at a town hall when a supporter called Barack Obama an Arab, and she told him that she couldn't trust Obama. McCain responded immediately. He took the microphone back and he said, no, ma'am, he's a decent family man, a citizen that I happen to have disagreements with sometimes. He was obviously widely praised for that moment. It was a moment of moral leadership. Last week, you were on Sid Rosenberg's show when he said Zohran Mamdani, when he talked about Zohran Mamdani, and he said, God forbid another 9/11 happens. Can you imagine Mamdani in the seat? He'd be cheering. You laughed. You said it was another problem. And then the very next day, Mayor Adams stood next to you and warned about Islamic extremism if Mamdani wins. And you stood there and you nodded along. You've now had a week or so to unequivocally condemn these remarks.
Yeah, and he basically just said if there's another 9/11 within, or the Sid Rosenberg dude said, if there's another fucking 9/11 that happens in New York, I better hope that Zohran Mamdani is not going to be in power, implying that for whatever reason, if Zohran Mamdani is in power if there was another fucking giant terrorist attack, that he's not going to help. That's very fucking weird. Like, it's genuinely insane.
Will you do so right now on camera? And why didn't you have your John McCain moment?
Well, John McCain I have, may rest in peace, a total respect for. If a supporter of mine said that, I would have said exactly what John McCain said. I was on a radio show with a radio commentator who made that comment as a joke or laughing as he said it. But he was not my supporter. He's a radio commentator. I don't normally, and I don't think normally we hold elected officials or politicians to correct a comment from a journalist.
Right. Oh, well,
I don't remember I don't believe the mayor.
The dude's a fucking podcaster. What? He said that, like, if 9/11 happens again within New York, that if Zohran Mamdani is in power, he's not gonna do shit about it. Okay, bro. Nice meme.
And excuse me, I don't believe Mayor Adams ever said that, unless I missed it, but I don't believe Mayor Adams ever said that Mamdani was an Islamic extremist. I don't believe he said
No,
that.
but he warned about Islam. Well, then
No,
I'll
he warned about Islamic extremism. He didn't say that Zohran Mamdani was an Islamic extremist rather, because that would be pretty racist. But no, I think he literally said that we can't have New York become like Europe, implying that because of all the Syrian refugees that immigrated over to through Turkey into Europe during the Syrian refugee crisis at 2014, like that all of a sudden there's going to be this like huge wave of migration of like Syrian migrants or Islamic sort of jihadist extreme. I don't know. It's genuinely like one of those talking points where it's just like you think about it for like 3 seconds and you're just like, bro, what? Okay, man.
ask you point blank here. I mean, my question in my words, do you condemn Islamophobic comments about Zohran Mamdani unequivocally?
100%. 100%. I condemn Islamophobic comments, anti-Semitic comments, racist comments, bigoted comments, anti-Italian.
Wait, one second there. Andrew Cuomo. AI ad. Yeah, he condemns all the anti-Italian ads, of course. And all these like dumbasses are saying it's such a good ad. I mean,
social give everyone a fair shot.
Zohran Mamdani's opponents want you to believe he's an inexperienced radical whose policies will make New York City more dangerous. But what do his actual supporters?
Are you sure you condemn anti-racist shit, Andrew Cuomo? I don't know about that one, buddy.
Comments, of course. You know, New York, as New York governor for 11 years, Attorney General, our diversity is our strength, but it can also be a weakness. So you have to work very, very hard to make sure you're always keeping people united.
Yeah, we already talked about why this is like the exact same shit that fucking white nationalists say, for fuck's sake. Talking about like, yeah, if you have an area filled with a bunch of different people and it's very fucking diverse, the idea that there's always going to be ethnic tensions as a result of that is genuinely fucking insane, dude. Like, why the fuck would you say that? Like, bro, just like, even though like every fucking economic indicator indicates that the exact fucking opposite. Same with like cultural indicators. There's a reason why New York City is like one of the most economically prosperous and culturally prosperous cities on the fucking planet. It's because of its diversity, little bro.
And there's always flare-ups among different races, religions, creeds for one reason or another. After COVID, we had hostility towards the Asian community. So yes, I've always been there to unify people, and I condemn and pass the strongest hate crime law in the United States of America, by the way.
Governor, I want to.
Dude on the bottom left. That pretty much says everything, dude.
Make sure and give you a chance to correct the record if you didn't mean to say, but somebody said diversity can also be a weakness. What did you mean by that?
Diversity can be a weakness if you have antipathy among groups, Jonathan. If you have racism or anti-Semitism, etc.
Why would you say this, man? Jesus Christ, bro. Yeah, this is gonna do really, really well in New York City. One of the most diverse cities on the planet, bro. Holy shit.
So then you'd have friction, right? Which we have had in New York. And so you have to work very hard to keep it as a positive and to make sure that it's not a negative and you have zero tolerance for any racism, any anti-Semitism, etc.
And Governor Cuomo, really quick, I'm going to get trouble with my producers and let you go, but, you know, Democratic voters have been kind of clear since the 2024 election that they want fresh blood, they want non-establishment figures. You know, you are someone who's a former governor, long family history in the state of New York. I think, you know, it would be honest to say that you're a member of the establishment. Why do you believe that you would be the exception to the rule when we're hearing from Democratic voters, they want anti-establishment candidates?
Yeah, I get the general rule, Jonathan. We want fresh blood. We want a fresh face. I get it. New York City, the mayor is an important job, and people want to be safe. People want affordable housing. People want to see the economy working. And in New York City, you can have a major crisis at any given time. A couple of days ago was the anniversary of Hurricane Sandy. Big storm, 50 people.
I'm just gonna say this like real quick. Yeah, this dude on the top left over here was like shaking his head, saying like, "Oof." Because that was a rough answer on that fucking diversity can be a weakness, like diversity can be our strength fucking question. That was really bad, dude.
people died. I don't think they want a mayor who has no experience or ability to do the job. And Mamdani, literally, this would be his first real job besides being a two-term assemblyman. Never managed anyone, and I think that is giving New Yorkers real pause. In the city, it can be a scary city, as you know, Jonathan, and you want someone in that seat who can handle whatever comes up. Experience.
We've already talked about why the experience point is wholeheartedly irrelevant. Donald Trump had no experience in fucking politics. Enters in the race in 2016, no experience to speak of whatsoever, and he became the fucking president. So this idea behind experience being king for whatever fucking reason is stupid. It's just a dumb fucking point, bro.
Experience is not a bad thing, Jonathan.
Right. No, that is right. This is Jonathan now. It was Eugene who was asking you those questions. Go to Andrew Cuomo.
And he mixed people's names up. Jesus Christ.
Of New York, thank you very much for coming to the weekend.
That was a fucking disaster for Andrew Cuomo. And I think, like, he mentioned, like, Hassan Piker for, like, the third fucking time during his campaign, talking about, like, why won't the assembly member condemn Hamish Piker? And it's just like, why are you mentioning that, bro? What are you doing? Like, most people in New York are not going to know who Hassan Piker is. And if they do know who Hassan Piker is, they're going to be voting for Zohran Mamdani. So it's very fucking stupid, man. Talking about, like, oh man, let's he won't condemn Hamas Piker, who said America deserved 9/11. Yeah, and it's just like, okay, bro, whatever. I don't know, like, do you want the guy who has the endorsement of both Trump and Andrew Cuomo, or the guy who's literally going to fight for you? That's really the ultimate question here. I guess there's also Curtis Lewa who's doing his best. Okay, he's doing his best. The Canary Motion video on DSA and Mamdani. I have no idea what you're talking about, Boy Meets Mini. But yeah, like, you should be asking yourself, if you're in New York, ask yourself this question: who do you care more about? The dude who's actually going to fight for you, or the dude who got, I don't know, endorsements from the boogeyman of the country? I know personally who you should fucking vote for, and that's Zohran Mamdani, someone who's actually going to fight for your fucking rights. So I don't think there's really much else to say besides, I still think that Andrew Cuomo is probably pretty cooked, dude.